Chair of the Veterans Advisory Board. I want to welcome and thank everyone for coming on this day, December the 10th, 2025, for the third meeting of the Veteran Advisory Board. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm about to lead us in a quick prayer before we start the meeting. If everybody can rise. Dear our Heavenly Father, watch over us as we partake in this meeting. Watch over everyone, our mayor, our city council, and the United States in general. Watch over our soldiers who are at war. Watch over our soldiers who are not at war. Give us the peace and the strength to hold you most accountable. These are all the blessings I ask in your most graceful name. Amen. We will now have a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
The Veterans Advisory Commission will now call for designating a POW MIA empty chair at all official meetings of the Veterans Advisory Commission as a physical symbol of the thousands of American POWs still unaccountable for from all wars and conflicts involving the United States.
The Philadelphia Veterans Advisory Commission is dedicated to honoring and empowering the city's veterans and their families by advising City Council on policies, programs, and services that address their unique needs. We strive to ensure that all veterans in Philadelphia have equitable access to housing, health care, employment, and community support, while promoting awareness, inclusion, and respect for their service and sacrifices. We will now have an opening statement by our chairman, Ms. Myra Rhodes.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here, and we are coming together to, as you know, this is a new Veteran Advisory Board. So we're anxious, we're excited, we're ready to do what we need to do to assist our fellow veterans. Thank you.
We will now have a few remarks from the commissioners, starting to my left, Mr. McKelvey.
Yes, I am Frank McKelvey, 24 years veteran, proudly of the United States Army. I also have a nonprofit organization designing, helping veterans and their families unhoused, as well as their families to benefit them and get them through the cold weather or whatever it takes to achieve their goals. I am also a member or a former member of the City of Philadelphia, working with the penal system for 25 years. I am dedicated to the commission to as long as it takes for us to achieve our goals. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is James Rozier, and I'm a 20-year U.S. Navy retired veteran. Right now, I'm a police officer, but I also belong to the world famous Mu Beta Phi Military Fraternity Incorporated, and you will see us every Tuesday evening on 20th and Arch, feeding the homeless. Thank you.
I'm Dave Giannetta, a 26-year veteran from the Air Force and Air National Guard here in Pennsylvania. In particular, my interest is the legislative process, particularly as it relates to the tax-exempt status of the property owners that are disabled veterans. And I was able to meet with Representative Solomon earlier a couple of months ago at his Vet Fest, and it seems like there's some promising developments, and hopefully they'll find a way to get it done this year.
Myra J. Fields Rouse, retired Army captain, 22 years, combat veteran. I continue to service over self with my fellow veterans. I work at Philadelphia Veterans Court and DBHIDS, and we continue to serve all veterans regardless of discharge.
Good afternoon. My name is Darby Ford. I'm a United States Army veteran. I currently work here for City Council at the Department of Veterans Affairs. I am honored to be here. I'm glad to see so many people here today. It's getting a lot bigger. That's a great thing. And I just want to say that we are here to serve you and listen to what you have to say and just try to get it done. Homeless veterans, as you know, is a big problem. We are going to try to tackle this problem and communicate with this problem. And any input that you guys have, we are here to listen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Hill, 25-year retired Army Reserve officer. I am Iraq vet. I'm currently the commander of Post 7650 in Fairmount, Philadelphia. I'm happy to be here. I had 35 years in higher ed public safety before I retired, and also I own my own security consulting business. So I'm happy to be here with my comrades and to serve the veterans of our city. Thank you.
My name is Mac Duncan. I'm a 1969 draftee for the Army. I spent 2 years, spent a little bit of time in Vietnam. Since I've been in Philadelphia, since I grew up in Georgia, I have been a community activist. I've been a committee person for about 40 years, and I've been president of Mount Airy Concerned Neighbors, so I do have a little bit of experience in helping people community-wise. And since I'm a veteran, I'm interested in learning more about how to help veterans. I personally am looking for some improvements in my own personal experience, so as I learn, I definitely will share it. So I'm kind of like the newest on the committee, so I'm here to learn and do. Thank you.
And now I would like to introduce Mr. Gregory Wright, Director of Veterans Affairs Office, also a United States Army veteran.
Is it on? Can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. This is our third and our final meeting for the year, but we have a new set of dates going on for next year that will be published next month, well, actually at the end of this month. But I am very happy to see everybody here. This crowd is growing, and I'm hoping in the upcoming year is going to be even bigger than this with more participation. These last few months have been filled with assistant veterans on claims. Am I right, Darby? So one of the things that we have started getting back to on a micro level was making sure that our veterans are being serviced at their needs and meeting them at where they're at for all of their needs. One of the biggest things that comes across are claims for our veterans as well as real estate tax exemption. We're utilizing VetPro, a system that's licensed, a software system that's licensed through the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veteran Affairs that will allow us to be connected to the state government as well as the federal government. I know that some people have concerns in regards to how we operate, but this is a step in that direction to creating transparency throughout the entire with the city, with the state, and with the federal government. And we've actually been inundated in a great way with helping veterans file claims, helping them make sure that they get what they're owed and how their service and what's impacted them, and what that looks like now, and how they can continue to be of service and how we can be of service to them. We've also done so much more with the real estate tax exemptions. The numbers have started to creep up into the hundreds, which in a span of from May all the way up until now, the Pennsylvania Department of Military Affairs, their state program directors have reached out to me and personally thanked myself and the office in regards to the job that we're doing for the veterans and making sure that they're being of service. At one point in time, the real estate tax exemption program was well below the numbers of what we're servicing now, and the veterans weren't able to get access to this program, and that's the reason why. But since we've come on, since we have a new team, we have new staff, and we have that vigor, and we're ready to just push forward and to be able to be of assistance. So we've been available to any and everybody. That means traveling out to veterans' homes who can't get to us, utilizing the online applications to make sure that everyone doesn't have to be inconvenienced coming down to City Hall as we try to work through some type of agreement with the parking structures around here. We've also been able to, it's a little premature, but we know that it's going to happen, starting in the new year, by March of 2026, our office will be offering 12 free sessions for our veterans who are trying to bridge that gap between being of service, getting services from the VA or getting services from a therapist that they reach out to, whether through the VA system or through the civilian system. This therapist will also be a VSO, and she's also an LPC. She's accredited. So we're looking forward to being able to offer those services. We understand that when we walk a veteran through the process of filing claims, sometimes it can bring up, some unsettling memories or feelings and emotions, and we want to just make sure that we have the staff on site to be able to assist these veterans even more so than we have in the past. With that being said, I just wanted to make these updates. I'm very proud of my team that I have down there, and I'm very proud of the commission that sits before us. I'm proud of all of the veterans who have been calling in and who have been asking the questions, the ones who have been fighting with us tooth and nail to make sure that all of our veterans are being serviced. I know sometimes it can be somewhat of a call center down there, as y'all saw when y'all were down there earlier, and sometimes everyone doesn't get through. But the individuals who do get through and the ones who are persistent enough to continue to try and get through to us, whether that's through the phone or emails or just stopping by in person, it takes a lot, and it's very it's very time consuming on the veterans' behalf. But everyone sits through it with us, and they make sure they get the service that they need. So being part of a team and being led by a board such as yourselves that have given us that input on how we can be of better service, it means everything. So I'm going to cut my remarks off. I know we have a lot of people who want to speak, and we only have a limited amount of time. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. If not, I'll get out the way.
One question for you. My understanding was there was legislation going through in Harrisburg about lowering the percentage as far as getting tax exempt to 50%. Is that true, or do you have any update on that?
So that bill currently sits on the floor of the House, am I correct? Darby? It's sitting on the floor right now?
If you don't mind, I think Commissioner Duncan, you want to address that issue?
Sorry.
If the commissioner right here, because I know he was.
Mayor
Yeah,
Janetta.
Dave, if you want to address the property tax exemption, where is that as far as legislative wise?
The last discussion I had, it was on the House floor, and there was some discussion about one of the challenges to the legislation was the opposition to some associations, perhaps some municipalities who didn't want to lose the tax revenue. And Representative Solomon seemed to think that there was a negotiation underway that could resolve that, and that was a big hurdle. Both the Borough Association and I think the school districts too.
And that would be prorated by the rating, so as 100%, tax exempt, and then so forth and so forth as you go further down. So 90 is 90, 80 is 80. That was one of the systems that they were looking at, but then there's another system where it's anything below 100, or they're doing in increments of like between 50 and 70, or 70 and 90, and then 100. So it's a lot of discussion, but the fact that we're here now with it is beyond the wildest dreams in Pennsylvania. I know that loss of tax revenue hits a lot of different counties in different ways, but we're 100% permanent and total veterans are less than 1% of the 1%. So in Pennsylvania, it's not going to be a large nominal effect. So I'm hoping that it gets passed within the next year, and then make our office a little bit busier, so we can have more people and more funding.
The last part of the question was, is there a max income that would knock you out of it?
So that is still up for debate about whether or not they're going to get rid of that maximum income threshold. In the Constitution, the Pennsylvania Constitution, there is no income threshold. There's not. That was put in, I believe, by the Veteran Advisory Commission for the state. So hopefully, as we continue to fight for more and more entitlements, that gets brought back to the table, and we can be heard as to why it is just unreasonable. But baby steps, right?
Just a quick, if I could ask, given the cold weather onset here, made me wonder whether, and I never asked before, are there specific outreach programs for veterans who are in need of housing, particularly as the weather gets cold, even if it's short term?
So for veterans who are in need of housing, we're still doing our best to try and refer them to the VMC and working with, and now we're working more now with smaller tenants, smaller landlords who have the ability to either parcel up the properties that they have and put it into rooms and make it more affordable for the veteran. Outside of that, we're looking into some partnerships throughout the city that is directly connected to the city and to the office itself, but nothing that I want to speak on with permanency or resolution, because everything that's in talks can always fall apart.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. We have no more.
All right, thank you guys. I look forward to hearing from everybody here.
Our first guest speaker is Rosalind Jarvis. Please come up to the podium. Thank you.
Good afternoon, City Council, and thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm an Army vet, served 5.5 years. I'm coming today to speak about the Women's Center, Multi-Service Center down in Old City. And I put together a presentation that I would like to read. I found the Women's Veterans Multi-Service Center in 2022 upon returning to Philadelphia for the first time in 45 years. I came home to a city I no longer recognized. I had no friends, no connections, and if I'm being honest, no real community. I felt alone and in a way that sits deep in your chest. But when I discovered the Women's VMC, Veterans Multi-Service Center, something shifted. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I had a place where I belonged. I made friendships that mattered. I found women who understood the weight of what we carry as veterans, women who understood the fears we didn't talk about, the joys we fought hard for, and the progress we struggled to make. The center became a safe place to breathe again, and the case management staff were part of that healing. They showed up for us. But over the last 6 months, everything that made the center feel like home, has slowly been stripped away. A change in upper management brought a change in services, and it has left many of us feeling confused, hurt, and honestly betrayed. The energy in the center has shifted. You can feel it. Women who once showed up every day now stay home. Participation has dropped, not only because we no longer need the support, but because the support we depended on was taken from us. The chat and chews that helped us open up, the birthday celebrations that reminded us we mattered, the game nights, the outings, the luncheons are all gone. Even the simple act of sitting together for lunch has been taken away. Now we're told to go to the main building and eat with the men. For many of us, women with scars, women with trauma connected to men in the military environment, this is not just uncomfortable, it's triggering. It's unsafe. It ignores our lived experiences. And then there's the loss of donated clothes and toiletries. Do you know how painful it is to see a homeless woman veteran come in for a shower, but leave in the same clothing she walked in with? To know a woman has a job interview, but no clean or professional clothing to wear. This isn't just stuff. These donations were dignity. They were hope. And now they're gone. What makes all of this even harder to understand is that the center recently went through major renovations. A kitchen, a washer and dryer, a shower, all things meant to support the very services that have been cut. It just doesn't make sense. But perhaps the most painful part of all the lack of communication is all the lack of communication. These changes were made without explanation. without conversation, without even the courtesy of acknowledging that the impact on the women this center is supposed to serve. Meanwhile, all of these services are still available to our male counterparts. That hurts deeply. And I have to speak honestly about my personal experience with the Deputy Executive Director for Program Operations. She has been here for about 2 years that I'm aware of, but has never introduced herself to the women in the center, not once. Most women don't even know what she looks like. And her office is right here, right there inside the center. The day I tried to introduce myself, extending a simple hand and kindness, she physically recoiled from me. And this was in front of another senior staff member. It was humiliating, it was painful, and it was symbolic of the larger issue. We feel unseen. But I want to be very clear about something. We are not just here to express our hurt. We are here because we believe in the purpose of this center. We believe in what can be again. We are asking for a path forward, a way to rebuild trust, a way to make sure the needs of the women veterans are not just acknowledged but respected. So today we are proposing quarterly meetings, women veterans, staff, management, sitting together at the same table. Not decisions made behind closed doors, but honest dialogue, transparency, collaboration, and a chance for us to express our needs, and for management to share theirs. A chance to rebuild this community the right way. The Women's Veterans Multi-Service Center was once a place of healing, of connection, and of sisterhood, with open communication and mutual respect. It can be that place again. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for caring enough to hear our voices. Thank you. Thank you.
I do have a question. Wow.
Sir.
So given what you said it was at 10 at one time. So they were taking care and they were doing a great job at one time. What do you think? What happened? What occurred? What made it go from 10 to 0 or 7 or 5 or whatever? What's the drop?
That's the point. There was no communication with the women, the veteran women who participate in the activities of the center. None of the senior staff reached out to us, asked our concerns or input. They just stripped away the services. And we asked questions, we asked for meetings, but to no avail. And so we were just left with nothing. And a lot of that was the reason for the drop-off, because we felt unheard. We felt no one would listen to our concerns. And we feel as women vets or as veterans that this was what the place was designed for our needs. And we feel that the decisions being made are what they are telling us what they want, not what we want, or have an opportunity to express what we want.
Another question. So is there veteran leadership there? Is there veteran leadership from top to bottom, or someone you can always go to? Do they have a advisory committee there that you can go to and talk to when things happen?
Not at all. That's what we're proposing. There is a case manager there on the site, and she's been there since I've arrived. She designs the day-to-day activities, and I don't want this to be directed towards her, because in the past, when we brought things up, it was said that they were causing trouble. So, but the person that's case managing the day-to-day operations, she's really for us. She tries her best to implement activities that are relevant to the women at the center. But they don't ask her input in anything. The upper management doesn't ask her input. In fact, they've taken some of her responsibilities away. So, and to us, it's just reflective of what's going on there. None of us know any of the upper management in the leadership area. They don't meet with us and they don't communicate with us. A lot of the services and benefits that are provided over at the perimeter, we barely hear about.
I wanted to interject. As a member of the Women's Veterans Center for over 10 years, before it moved around on Lawrence Street, I can give you some insight after the meeting and talk to you about kind of the climate change and things that are going on, because sometimes people get excited and don't know how to articulate themselves. I do think it's a good idea to be able to come together and say, hey, we would like to have this, we would like to have that. And that's where the drop-off came, because at one given time, you could come down and be like 10 to 12 female veterans down there. And like you said, as I agree, with some veterans, with either their trauma and MST, it's very difficult to go in a building full of men. And so I think sometimes people forget about that, but I would like to talk to you after the meeting, and maybe we can brainstorm and we could set up a meeting. Okay. Why not, you know?
Sounds great.
All right.
I will say that about a month ago or so, we were asked to send in surveys. They have, when you come into the center, they have a QR code where you can scan the QR code with your phone, and it allows you to complete a survey. And many of the women have done that, but we haven't heard anything about of it. So it's like it fell on deaf ears.
First of all, I just want to say thank you. Your testimony was powerful, and it was very heartfelt. I'm quite sure everybody in there felt the emotion that you are going through, and I just want to assure you that this commission, and along with the director at the Department of Veterans Affairs here, Mr. Gregory Wright, we will look into this. And I assure you, we will set up some kind of meeting to address this issue. So, and I sincerely mean it. Thank you for your powerful testimony here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker is Ms. Bessie Richardson. Just to be mindful, we don't have a lot of time, so try to condense. I understand that everything is important, but we have to keep it condensed. Thank you.
Good evening, City Councilor. I'm Bessie Richardson Bay. Thank you for allowing me to give my perspective on the facility for female vets. I was homeless last year, also a drug addict, and through this facility, it helped me a great deal. I am no longer homeless. I have support from the other vets since I've been there, and it has helped me a great deal, and I've watched other people be helped. So this is what I want to say. I'd like to address the changes at the Veterans Center for Female Vets. I'd like to address the importance of women vets being treated equally when decisions are made in our behalf. From my perspective, it seems that our input doesn't count when decisions are being made or on our behalf. We have had changes made at our center that affects us. We recently had changes in our gathering area to become a daycare area for vets with children. No one has the problem with children being there, but the problem is that some veterans have mental problems, trauma, and some are homeless. Many women attend the facility to commune with other vet women for support. To have that interfered with is disrespectful and disregarded. The mental challenges that some women face, a removal of computers, also making where the computers were as a daycare in the same area that we are supposed to commune and solve our problems. And the computers were for us to concentrate on our homelessness, different programs. They took that away and added the daycare right there where we sit. And we had another room available. So we were disregarded on that. And as she said that we filed papers and spoke on that issue and we were ignored. In the same area, we discussed things of importance to the group that benefits vets in life situations that helps us maneuver life's challenges. Children cannot go upstairs where men vets are. We signed documents that we didn't agree with the changes. We also spoke with others who was in charge at that time and was ignored. Also, there are times when men vets receive important items and the female vets are ignored in considering of the same, having the same considerations. When decisions are being made with our spokesperson of our facility, when decisions are made, it should be for the best interests of the veteran women who seek help and well-being after almost giving their lives in service to this country, the United States of America. We are asking that we are included in changes that are being made on our behalf. Let it be known to us and agreed upon for the benefit of the female vets. We would like the council to understand that we didn't agree with certain changes, and we would like our voices to be heard in certain matters of changes, not to be ignored, which may interfere with our gatherings and meetings, also the attention taken away from helping others with homelessness and the feeling of being alone.
So I gather that there's no collaboration there. I gather that the leadership has lost its way.
Yes.
I gather
Yes.
that the people there need help.
Yes.
That's a known fact. And what can we do? I know we're gonna have a meeting. We can talk things over. In your own mind, what do you think we can do to make this happen, to turn this around? Because we're gonna need everybody's opinion to make it happen. Then we could have a meeting to bring that collaboration back to the center.
Well, I think our voices as veteran women should be heard when decisions are being made. I think those who are in authority over us should be able to talk with us and tell us what changes are being made, what benefits that we can help them understand what we need. And to come in and just do things to destroy what we have had there for almost, for years, to come in and take things that we had situations. We had a situation where a woman came in and there was no clothes there for her because they had taken these clothes out that we had. They were used clothes, but that's why we got a washer and dryer. But the woman came in, there were no clothes for her. So she would take a shower, and they had to send her to the men's facility, and it shouldn't be so.
One quick question.
Yes.
Approximately how many women service the VMC?
We're not sure, but they just hired one person for the women vets facility, and we also have another coordinator. And the first one, we had one that was left, but she has been doing a good job, the coordinator, what we have. But from my opinion, they are not including her in decisions that are made for us. And we believe that she should be included for those decisions that are made for us. So we can understand and we can adjust to any decisions that are being made.
I want to interject something. And I do think that it would be good, just like you said, maybe some kind of advisory board, because over the years, 10+ years in dealing with the Women Veterans Center, it has been a slow change. And I've seen all the things. We used to have trips, we used to do this, we used to do that. But I also think people need to take in consideration the climate of this country right now.
Yes.
And so you have to keep in mind with that. But just like Mr. Ford said, my mouth is real big, and I will fight, and we'll set something up. Because that's where First Start's at, because we have been talking about this before a lot of the female veterans down there. Because at one time you could find 30 female veterans. We had enough to fill up buses and go places. It is at a standstill. And so don't get frustrated, because I know I use the center myself too, because it helped me transition. So it means a lot to the veterans that go down there and utilize it. So we just got to get it back to where it was at that point. Thank you.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Kim Webb.
Good afternoon, members of the council and fellow community members. My name is Kim Webb, and I am honored to stand before you today as a combat female veteran. I'm here to share my experience and to speak about a cause that is very close to my heart, advocating for female veterans. In May of 1976, I entered the Army, driven by a deep sense of duty and a long-time dream of becoming a soldier. Like many service members, I underwent rigorous training and faced challenging missions throughout my time in the military. However, as a female, I encountered unique obstacles that tested both my resilience and my strengths. After completing basic training and advanced individual training, AIT, I graduated with honors and was assigned the title radio operator, a role traditionally held by men. My first duty station was Korea on the Demilitarized Zone, the DMZ, a designated combat zone. In this environment, I had to break through barriers, stereotypes, working hard to prove myself capable and competent in a male-dominated setting. Accessing essential support such as healthcare, mentorship, opportunities for career advancement often felt like an uphill battle. These experiences taught me the importance of resilience and determination. Serving in the military provided me with an invaluable lesson in leadership, teamwork, and adaptability. Despite the adversity I faced, I drew strength from forming connections with other female service members. By sharing our stories and supporting one another through the unique challenges we encountered, we found ways to persevere. These relationships only sustained me through difficult times, but also inspired my ongoing commitment to advocating for women in uniform. To make a meaningful difference in the lives of female veterans, I volunteer at the Philadelphia Airport USO, where I actively advocate for female veterans and share information about benefits available to them. My outreach efforts also include distributing pamphlets that promote the Women Veterans Program. I urge City Council to recognize that advertising and widespread communications are essential for reaching female veterans. Placing prominent billboards at the VA and behavioral health facilities, schools, senior community care centers can help connect past, present, and returning female warriors to the women's program at the VMC, which offers a supportive community where female veterans can find connections and assistance along with their sisters in arms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next guest, next guest speaker is Mr. William Duffy and Robert Pomeroy.
Good afternoon, Council. Thank you for seeing us today. As she said, my name is Robert Pomeroy. Next to me is William Duffy. I'm currently an active board member and equipment manager, where Bill Duffy is the president of the Philadelphia Flyers Disabled Veterans Hockey Club. We established in 2018 with only about 16 members. Now we've grown today up to 140 members. Through the support of our community, the Flyers alumni, and our local sponsors and all that other good stuff. Since then, we started in 2018. We've established individual therapy for our members, where they can log online and talk to their own individual therapist over online. The others is the camaraderie. One of the things that we missed when we get out was our brothers and sisters. And we lost that. That's what we were looking for when we got out. And here we are. Now we're all together. Our families get together. Our wives get together. The men and the girls get together. And we all have fun. And just like when we were in the military. The best way I describe this team is remember sitting in the barracks as a single soldier, looking around at all your friends in the middle of the night and going, this is my life, this is what I can live with. That's the camaraderie that you find again. I know I can call people up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and if I need to talk, they'll drop everything, wake up, come to my house and talk to me. Like I said, I'm gonna pass it off to Bill Duffy right after I'm done. 3 days before this program started, it all started because I made a promise to an old military friend. 3 days before I started this program, I tried to commit suicide and hung myself. Since this program has started and I've been a part of it, not a day has gone by that I have thought about hurting myself ever again. Because even if I do have that thought, I know I can call Bill Duffy at 4 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, he'll talk to me, come to my house, drive an hour to come to my house, and vice versa for him. This is therapeutic hockey. We have people from levels from Bambi skating is what I like to call it. You look like Bambi on the ice. That's the way I started. All the way up to elite teams where people played semi-pro or even in the academies for the Army and the Navy. We have a whole slew of backgrounds. For myself, working with the Department of Behavioral Health, all the way down to a maintenance guy for the city, all the way to trauma doctors, orthopedic doctors. We invite everybody. The way you become a part of the team is being 10% or more disabled through the VA and have an honorable discharge. Yeah. Bill Duffy.
Thank you for having me. My name is Bill Duffy, as Rob said. I'm a 21-year Air Force retired veteran. Did multiple deployments, Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, all over the world, basically. I spent more time deployed than I did at home, but that was the choice I made, and it was the right choice for me. Once I got out, I was looking for a connection. I found that through the Warrior Hockey program. Since then, it has been a life-changing experience, not only for me, but the people next to me. Before I get into that, I just want to thank these ladies here for their time and coming in to speak their mind on the issues they're having, because we deal with the same type of things, and luckily, we have a board that is able to help our veterans immediately and get them the help that they need. Like Rob said, we do have outside resources besides the VA that, you know, a lot of our guys are uneducated, and women, when they get out of the military, on what they're entitled to. This is more than just hockey. It's an educational piece as well. When they show up, there's so many people that don't know what they're entitled to when they join this program, and they get that education that they need in order to get the stuff that they need for them, not only themselves, but their family members. We do have all walks of life, as Rob said. We have guys that pretty much would have been homeless if it wasn't for us. We got them and pointed in the right direction. And they wouldn't even have anybody if it wasn't for us. So the like-minded individual state of our program is very important, on and off the ice. We do have a women's group as well. Just like when you're in the military, the wives get together, they talk good, bad, or indifferent about us. That's okay. That's what they're there to do, and it's great. And it's very important, because without that, you know, we're the ones that show up every Sunday to have practice and create that safe space for our veterans, whether it's on or off the ice when they're there. But the wives need that as well, and significant others. So we do provide babysitting for our players, so they can give their wife a break, and they can still make practice and be around the guys and girls of the program. We have partnered with not only the Flyers alumni, but we have a local rehab and rehabilitation and behavioral health group called Manifesto, which was started by Dan Hilferty Jr., the son of the president of the Flyers, Dan Hilferty. What that does is, why do we have that resource? Because unfortunately, some of our guys or girls, for whatever reason, they don't want to use the VA. So we're like, okay, what can we do to help them still get the help they deserve? So we created that with the with our program, and it gives them the support they need. It's all telehealth. It's also for the spouses and significant others or children over the age of 11. So we pay into that as a nonprofit because we want to offset the cost of the veteran. So it's very important that they have that available to them. We still offer the VA as the first point of contact. If that doesn't work and they don't want to do that, that's our secondary. I just want to make that clear. The VA is always our first point of contact for stuff like this. Also, the one thing I will say is, like I said, we are a nonprofit. We do wear the Flyers logo. That's all we get from the Philadelphia Flyers. We're partnered with them under the understanding that we will represent the brand in a positive manner on and off the ice. So it's just like when you have that flag on your sleeve when you served in the military. Our guys and girls wear this with pride now, and understand that we have a responsibility to represent the brand and the city of Philadelphia. We do a lot of community relations stuff as far as we rebuilt a library in West Philadelphia. The school was over 100 years old. The library was just a dumping ground for old furniture and stuff of that nature. We rebuilt that 2 years ago to give these children in the local area a place where they can be more, get better education and a positive environment. We put smart boards in there, murals on the walls, upgraded the books, the furniture, everything, flooring. We would go in there every Saturday until it was done to make sure that they had a positive environment for them to learn and get a better education. So it's like Rob said, it's more than just hockey. It's about serving the community like we did when we were in the military and each other as veterans. I want to thank you for your time, and I really appreciate you allowing us to speak on our behalf of our program.
And like Bill Duffy was saying, that we're helping the committee so much. Even today, right after this, we've raised almost $4,000 to collect toys for local children. And today we're going to go load them up, and then tomorrow we're going to go deliver them to the Xfinity Mobile Arena to make sure that kids have a Christmas this season.
I had a question. How can a person partner up with you guys, which I love what you do, and please leave your card if you could. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is there a website or something that we can, is there a website that we can, if somebody wanted to partner up with you guys or
Yes, sir.
collaborate? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it's flyerswarriors.com. It has our board of directors on there. If you are looking for we have a VP of Business Ops, we have VP Hockey Hops, we have our treasurer, we have legal counsel, everything for our guys. So if our guys get in trouble, we actually have lawyers that are in the program that help our guys with whatever they need. We also provide wills. A lot of our men and women don't have wills and stuff like that. So there's a lot of moving parts that go into this program. We do mindfulness classes too and yoga to help get their mind in a better space as well. So there's a lot of moving parts to this program. I could speak for hours on it. I'm very prideful of it. But I also want to make one thing, bring one thing to your attention also. I also work for USA Hockey, and I oversee all the Warrior programs in the U.S. It's not just the one here in Philadelphia. So what I have created was getting the VA on a national level for our 2 tournaments. They show up to these tournaments and provide benefits, education, and behavioral health services right there on the spot at the tournament for veterans, along with the Wounded Warrior Project. So, our veterans said, what do we do? What does USA Hockey really do for us? We just show up to tournaments and they take our money. Well, not anymore. Since I've stepped into this position, I've made it abundantly clear that we are going to change that outlook of what USA Hockey does. So at a national level, I have now speak to the VA and the Wounded Warrior Project, and they show up to every tournament. Guns blazing, they're even going to start doing CMP exams on the spot and adjudicate claims. So we're really stepping up our game, and it's all because we need to take care of our veterans. So.
Mr. Pomeroy, I did ask you earlier, did you have any pamphlets, and will you be able to bring them next week?
Yes, we are actually in the midst of creating new ones, and they have not come in the mail yet.
Thank you so much for your time and that invaluable.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Ms. Ora Witherspoon.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Ora Witherspoon. I am a 36-year Army officer. I retired in 2019. I'm also a retired police officer from Philadelphia. And the 2 issues that I have at hand, I promise I'll be short and sweet. So today, I want to speak directly to the issue
that affects the strength of the community, the stability of our state, and the dignity for the men and women who have served the nation in honor. First, we must address the reality that can no longer be ignored. Our neighboring states, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, all provide full property tax exemption for the veterans that are 100% disabled rating. These states have recognized that when someone gives their body, their health, their future to defend the country, they deserve lasting support in return. But here in Pennsylvania, we have not kept pace. And because of that, we are losing our veterans every single year. Families are packing up their lives and moving across the borders, not for better weather, not for new jobs, but simply for the basic respect and financial relief that they have earned. Pennsylvania cannot afford to continue losing the very people who sacrifice the most. It is time for our legislation to act. We must implement a full property tax exemption for our 100% disabled veterans. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because respect delayed is respect denied. The second issue I want to bring up, we must ensure that our veterans and the organizations that serve them have a true voice in future of our communities. Veteran-led organizations should not be on the sideline. They should be at the table, involved in real decision-making, especially when it comes to land use, redevelopment, and community planning. Our cities and school districts hold countless vacant lots, unused buildings, and neglected properties. Space that could be transformed into veteran resource centers, life-changing support programs. These properties should not sit unused while veterans struggle with housing, instability, mental health challenges, and barriers to opportunities. We are calling for a clear, equitable pathway for veterans organizations to purchase these properties at fair or reduced rates so that they can build programs that uplift not veterans, but the entire neighborhood. When veterans succeed, communities thrive. When veterans are supported, families are strengthened. And when veterans are empowered, everyone benefits. So today, we are raising our voices, we are demanding action, and we are standing for every veteran who have stood for us. Pennsylvania must do better, and together, we will make such sure that that happens. Thank you. Ori Witherspoon. Any questions?
Yes, I do. Well, I like what you just said about unused, the housing, the lots. We can transfer them to veterans' families, and that would be a good uplift to all the families. I like that. And that's needed here in the city of Philadelphia, because we see a lot of abandoned homes still not being occupied throughout the city of Philadelphia. We need that. And that's one of the big things we need to focus on, because there's so many veterans that's out there that's in the streets, in the shelters, they're still there, that need coats, that need this, they need that. And it's up to us as veterans to help our brothers out there that need help. It's time, and you're right, and we can make that happen. Have you teamed up with any other organizations that can help you throughout all this?
I have not. In 2019, when I retired, I started a 501(c) because what my plan is to purchase property.
But I ran into so much red tape in trying to finagle my way through it, then the pandemic hit, and then that threw me back. So at this time right now, I am still looking how to or where to go, because the information is not really available. You know, they say that there's a lot of stuff out there for you to do this and do that, but it's not right at your fingertips. And even when you do the research, this department doesn't handle it. They send you to this department and then this department, and then it becomes a vicious circle. You know, I have a support group behind me, but there's so many women that don't have a support group. And when you have a woman that has children and they become homeless, it becomes a domino effect. Because usually what happens, they usually go into a hospital, then the CHS comes in, takes the kids away, then the kids are traumatized, and it's just a vicious cycle, and it just keeps going. And so that has to stop, and I know it's something we can do. For me, what I realize is that when you have a facility that women can come to that can talk, because they communicate with each other, they understand their language, and so they do well, they become more successful. So that's what we need to do. And they can get all of their modalities in one place. Not only that was I a police officer and had to arrest people, but by me being in the military, but also I'm a nurse provider also. So I see it from the medical side stand too. So we have to do better, and we can, but we just have to have a meeting of the minds.
What was the name of your organization again?
It's Oracle Healing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to see if there are any more guest speakers out there that wish to speak briefly. Okay, if not, then Mr. Ford will read a statement. I'm sorry. Oh, come on.
I'll be brief and thank you. Y'all can hear me? I don't know if these will still being recorded, but I would like to actually go on record. I sent my statement ahead of time. I think you put on, thank you so much, Mr. Ford.
May I interject 1 second? Ms. Santos, Dr. Santos, I did not know that was you. I was
did not-
actually
you're not
getting ready to
gonna-
read your statement into the record.
You're not going to finish
I
look,
did
sir.
not know that was you there.
So I'm here with my team today as a NAVVETS commander, the National Association of Black Veterans. These are two of our board members here that are with us today. And of course, I've been here previously as the founder of the National Alliance of Women Veterans. So I was so honored to hear from these women veterans today. That was a powerful, powerful first part. It was worth listening to. Thank you for the hard work. Thank you for listening, and certainly I would look to hear more from those ladies from the roundtables that you may have been interested, Madam, in bringing to us. I've given roundtables here for women veterans in the caucus room for over 20 years, and that's what we're listening for. We got to bring the pieces together, so I was really honored to hear all of these women today. Today I'm here as the commander of the National Association of Black Veterans. We are a national organization, but the Philadelphia chapter number 0039, the story goes, I'm just going to start because this is where we are on homelessness. The previous commander was homeless. She was a registered nurse, and she was put out of her place of no fault of her own while she was in the VA hospital. She became homeless. She was living in the park. I met her as the commander, which the position I now hold. She died. That has to be of some importance for the conversation on homelessness. And just on this issue, as a NAVVETS commander, 75% of homeless in the Philadelphia County are Black veterans. And I've done the research. I'm a researcher by profession. I hold a PhD in health sciences, and my research is military culture and families as a topic. I've just finished a study here in the state of Pennsylvania. Of the 67 counties, Pennsylvania has the highest number of homelessness. We must deal with the data and the statistics that bring the reality to what they are talking about to the forefront. Thank you, ladies. I'm just so honored to hear. And it's not me just here this time, because there are many of us out here. There are many of us out here, and I have the data and I have the numbers in my research. We'd like to talk a little bit specifically about how we as a community, this organization, this commission, I tell you, you're beautiful and you're amazing today in what I'm hearing. I was really pleased from our director and how he has opened up his hearing to the multiplicity of what it is that we deal with. There's not one thing or the other. There's issues that relate to the quality of life that leads to homelessness. What results in homelessness are many issues. So this is what I researched, the quality of life issues that lead to oftentimes homelessness, and it is not oftentimes about the economic status of the veteran. There are many issues that are caused homelessness because on the other end of the homeless, there's a lot of developers getting a lot of money to build transitional housing, as opposed to the qualified $417,000 eligibility home ownership certificate that we get as veterans, if y'all can relate to that. So we want to make sure that we realize our earned benefits as a priority, as opposed to developers benefiting from our suffering and having us beg for what we already deserve. I think that is a very, very important thing to note here for me today, just hearing what these ladies are experiencing. And as far as all of the other organizations, there are 1,200 registered nonprofits for veterans in this city. There is not just that one. They had $50 million in 2014, $50 million on the SFVF fund, this organization. We want to talk about those layered bureaucracy platforms by which are not so transparent. If you talk about transparency here today, I think one of the ladies spoke about transparency and accountability. We have to deal with the reality. And that reality is what's causing homelessness in the lives of veterans here today, and we must deal with that as a reality for if we are really serious about putting veterans in housing stability. One other thing I'd like to draw from our conversation is two legislative agendas that are on the table. On this morning, there were two serious platforms, the Vision 4. The Vision 4 is the state authority over the VHA, the Veteran Health Administration. We must talk about how we are connected to the Vision 4, which is over the region, as well as our Department of Veterans Affairs that kind of implement the policy through Congress to us. So there's two bills that are on the table this week. The Economic Opportunity Bill, which talks about where the funding for the programs that we were talking about that stopped, how do we get that money back? They may just have changed the program title. They could have changed the congressional funding title. We want to talk about how can we reroute some of the funding back into those programs so that they can have that type of camaraderie in that facility. That is what I do. I'm a researcher by profession, and I'm hearing whereas these benefits or the opportunities that they have enjoyed have been taken from them without any type of notice, is unfortunate. But we do have alternatives, and we have to hold the people accountable for leaving these women out here because it does cause setbacks in the advanced progression of psychological and mental health conditions by which we all deal with when we are oftentimes marginalized, okay? So one more minute, please. This is our treasurer of NAVVETS, Commander Sharon Rush, and this is Commander Pierre Griffin here, who is our Chief Operating Officer here in Philadelphia. Collectively, we have worked in 6 months as I've been the commander across many areas, and I want to talk a little bit about the sports. He talked about soccer, but we have coming next month 6,000 soccer coaches. Of course, we have the World Cup here in summer, so we are partners to the United Soccer Coaches Association, by which on Friday we would like to assume some role in partnering with the veterans groups because they have a veterans initiative. From 6-year-old kids all the way up to however old you want to participate. But they are here, of course, for the World Cup this summer, and I will share that more with the commission through emails. Certainly, I do have contact with Mr. Ford, and thank you so much. I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge Mr. Ford as one of the most accommodating, I'm going to say, in terms of his role, working directly with veterans, which is very, very challenging. I would like to commend you on your experience and your professionalism that you demonstrate each time that I call with very, very complex information. His patience and his ability to learn and to listen has been very, very impactful, and I just want to publicly give you that acknowledgement today. I think you are outstanding as a leader, and certainly as a fellow veteran, you understand the many multi-dimensions by which we may come into that office. I would like to open up just for, okay, they don't have anything to say, but as far as this commission, I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to, yet again, I've been coming to this halls for over 20 years to talk about the issues with veterans. As homelessness may be now the largest issue, but it's not the most important one. We do have mental health, substance abuse, and suicide, by which I address in my research. I would like to get that into the hands of those who can make sense of it, into the lives of women that are experiencing these challenges. I watched a young lady cry through her statement. That's a very, very courageous thing to do when you are yet in your healing process. But there is healing at the end of, there's light at the end of the tunnel. I want to encourage her. We are at different levels of healing in our lives. So I'm going to conclude with just being appreciative of the opportunity, certainly lending my expertise and whatever work that I have done to this commission to further move this agenda forward. I think this is probably the most, out of the 20-something years I've been coming down here, I tell you this is by far the most impactful one today. And I'm grateful that you have listened, despite I've been drilling stuff in your head, but I'm grateful that you all have listened, and I'm just proud of each one of you today with the very sensitive questions that you've asked these women veterans here. This morning they had the Center for Women Veterans Forum, and I will lend to whatever process to get them the information that they shared, and continue to have that communication, hopefully, with you, Madam, on women veterans. But certainly, all veterans are in some need, and we want to make sure that we are bringing all the collaborators here and stakeholders in one place. So I'm going to conclude with that, and just thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Dr. Santos, your official statement will be part of the official record.
I do appreciate that. That's why
I did have it here. I didn't see you back
he's a
there.
gem. He's a gem to the community of veterans, and certainly to the office. And certainly, I just commend also our director, who has yielded himself to some of the levels of experience that are now presented to him. Thank you all so much. I'm just really pleased today with hearing from you all, and just seeing the growing community of advocates coming in here to speak on our behalf. Have a wonderful holiday, you all, and I'll see you all next year, hopefully with more veterans and more advocates and more support, and just bringing it all together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak today before we commence the meeting?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Marine. I'm an Army vet, 5-year Army vet, and I'm a new Philadelphia veteran. I relocated from the city of New York, and one of the challenges that I had in New York is that a lot of information doesn't trickle down. I found this Veterans Multi-Service Center just by walking through one day and happened to see the door, and I stopped and found out what was available. I talked to Mr. Ford to find out what was available and started dealing with the services here. But one of the things I was concerned about is that a lot of veterans don't know you people exist. I was talking to some of the veterans that I've met because Ms. Webb and I were together in a program, and she's always been active. I want to commend her. I was telling her earlier, ever since I've known her, she's always been active as far as women veterans are concerned. But I think a lot more gentlemen might get involved if they could get some information or knew some of these things existed. Like I said, I'm a new transplant, but I've been talking to some veterans that I know that have been in Philadelphia and Jersey all their life, and they don't know the center is down here in City Hall. So, but I do know they frequent, like the Philadelphia veteran, they go to the VA hospital, and I feel that there should be some more information funneled through there. I don't know if they have a distinct liaison between these two offices, but I think that the information should be more readily available at the VA hospital. because if I wouldn't have walked through, I never would have heard of you guys. And I've been dealing with the VA in Philadelphia for the last six, 7 months. So I really think that what needs to happen is, from what I understand, you're doing great works. I see there's interest here, and that piques my interest. I want to continue to come, Mr. Ford. Thank you for inviting me. But I really think that the information should be out there a little bit more, that you exist and you're willing to help. Because I've got some great information here today, but it's just for the fact that I didn't even know. I talked to vets. I was trying to invite some people, and they were like, where? Where is this office? I've never even heard of them. So I think that one of the things that we should try and focus on, and I say we because I'm involved in this community now, is trying to get the information out and let more veterans know that there are multi-service centers, there's one downtown, and because, they need the information, they need the help. I'm dealing with a situation where I'm trying to avoid becoming homeless right now, but just for the fact that there's resources there that people don't know about, and it's so important for them to get that information. So as I was just stating, that maybe you could find a way to liaison a little bit more between the VA hospitals or the outreach places that the VA hospital uses, so that some people would know about you guys, or more people would know about you guys. Thank you for letting me speak, and I really appreciate the information that I got today. Thank you so very much.
Well, before you leave, it's one thing. We down at the department, we have a new director in. We have a new director. He spoke earlier today.
Yeah.
He's put together the website. So
Sure.
he's getting those things
Sure, I mean,
in order.
I can imagine, right. But
right, so it's just going to take some time for the director to partner.
Well, everything takes time. It's not instantaneous, but I really want to commend you people, all the people that I hear here today that are doing things to service vets, and the interest that everyone has, because it's important that we stick up. And I got all my information through word of mouth. That's one of the best things you can have, but also some public information, because as vets, we all have issues. And sometimes we're not as friendly to brother vets, or we're a little apprehensive about talking about certain things. So pamphlets or more information, more people that are in positions to give out more information would probably be helpful.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll pass that on to the director. Thank you.
Hey, can I want to,
So that was our last speaker, and if anyone has anything else to add, you can do that right now. If not, that would conclude our meeting.
I'd like to conclude. I'd like to say something, if possible.
You always got something to say.
My name is Frank McKelvey. I've been a member of this board for, I guess, about 3 or 4 months or so, and we put together a good team here. Team that cares, team that's going to try to help out our veterans and their families. The VA can't do it all by themselves. We all know that. It needs help. And all these organizations out here, veteran organizations, they're trying. They're trying to help. I have come together with a lot of partners, people that's willing to help. I have a nonprofit organization by the name of Victory for Veterans. We try to work with the VA, we try to work with other organizations, and we would love to come to partner with everybody, anybody that cares about helping veterans and their families. I have an outreach organization, 2517 North 26th Street. It's in the heart of North Philadelphia. We're trying to put together something that's going to benefit everyone that's a veteran and also anyone that's in the community. So we're willing to partner with anybody. I came up, I know we pressed for time, but I got to say this. I'm the founder of Victory for Veterans. We gave away already over 2,500 coats in the city of Philadelphia, along with 2,500 toys in the city of Philadelphia, throughout the different organizations throughout the city. We always need help. We're always looking for funding. We always need help throughout the city of Philadelphia. But this was put together because I know that the VA can't do this on their own. So we all gonna have to come together as other organizations, outreach centers. We gotta all come together to make this happen. And we have to help our sisters and brothers out there that need our help. Thank you.
Please stand as we have a closing prayer, and that will conclude our meeting.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this meeting with so much positive information. Thank you for watching all over us. Thank you for the wonderful testimony from all our guests today. And it's you, it's only you that we depend on. We pray that you continue to look over us as veterans, and try to just let us just work harder at caring, work harder at giving something to one another. These are all the prayers I just ask in your most graceful name. Amen.
Amen.